So now officially, good morning, everyone. I'm happy to introduce someone you probably know. Gabriel is the president of World Archery Mexico. He's someone with long experience in organizing big events in Mexico, like the World Cup finals a couple of times. I think it was 3 times. And he will be organizing the Pan American Championships next year. When you organize big events, you need to have a lot of knowledge about marketing because you can't run a big tournament like the World Cup finals without any marketing. And if you have been to Tlaxcala, which is a city where the World Cup finals were held last year, I'm sure you know what it means being there and promoting the sport everywhere in the city. So I'm sure Gabriel will give you more information about this. Gabriel is the chairman of our marketing committee, which we recently created, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy his presentation. Gabriel, please go ahead.
Thank you,
Hey, good morning,
Sergio.
everybody.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Please mute your microphones.
All right.
Right. Thank you, Sergio. Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure for me to be here and to share some of my experience on marketing in order to improve our federations in America. So I will start sharing the presentation that I made. Let's see.
Sí, se ve, Gabriel.
Okay. Just 1 second. Okay, good. Just 1 second because something happened. I was checking the presentation this morning. Okay, can you see the introduction? Yes.
Yes.
Sergio, someone? Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Today, I would like to speak a little bit about sports marketing, but more focused on how we can improve the sources of income for the federations, because at the end, I believe that is the main concern for all the national federations. How can I make more money? How can I bring more money to my federations? How can I get some sponsors? No, because it's a big question. I used to work for Pan Am Games in 2011 in Guadalajara, and I was in charge of the commercial part. I was selling sponsorships during 4 years for Guadalajara. So I learned a little bit, but this presentation is focused first on the basic principles of how we need to start and what we need for starting selling sponsorships. And I will try to be very precise on what we need, okay? So first of all, sales. It's part of the human, it's part of the society. To sell something, it's part of the trade of every day. We need to sell, okay? So we are selling all the time. Probably we are selling a product. That's the easy part. You can see the product, you can check the product, you can smell the product, whatever. That's the easy part. Or probably you are selling a service, okay? You are a consultant or you are an accountant or whatever. But probably you are selling a dream. And that's the case of archery, okay? We are a product that it's a dream. And we need to create that product in order to sell it, okay? So everything on the life, it's a trade. It's a selling process. All the time you are selling your ideas, you are selling your projects, you are selling everything. So the principle of marketing is a tool for selling, okay? If you want to sell more, you need a marketing tool, okay? And a marketing strategy. So that's the thing. Marketing, it's a tool for selling what? A product, a service, a dream, a project, whatever. Okay. What are the sources of incomes on a national federation or on an international event? First, sponsorships, and we will talk about that later. Second, memberships, okay? And for memberships, we need to create a strategy, okay? But it's a little bit the same of sponsorships. The only difference is that you have a different client. On a sponsorship, you have the companies that will give you the money, and on memberships, you have your archers, your community that needs to believe on your project, okay? Then you can put merchandising. We will talk about that later. Special events, probably TV rights if you have a big event, ticketing on events, donation, and government contributions, okay? I will repeat a little bit. So you have sources of incomes. The first question is, okay, I'm a national federation and I need to bring some money to my federation. Okay, you have different options. First one, sponsorships. I will explain later. Second one, all the time, membership. Okay. Third one, merchandising. Fourth one, special events. My national competition, a competition for the youths, a competition for the new talents, whatever. Then, if I have a big event like my national, probably TV rights could be a source of income. Then I can sell some tickets. Probably not, it depends on the country. I can get some donations for private companies, which is different. A donation is different from sponsorship. The sponsorship has a back benefit from the federation, and a donation is without any benefit, okay? And then government contributions. Okay, let's talk about how to sell archery. And I will stop a little bit here. That's the question that we all have. Okay, how can I sell more archery on my country? So first, we need to answer two big questions. The first one is, what do I have that the others don't? Okay, it's different on every country. I know the answer for Mexico, but I want to put a simple example on El Salvador, for example. What archery on El Salvador has right now that other sports doesn't have? The answer could be, and I'm not from El Salvador. Now with the compound, the Salvador Federation has a real possibility to put 2 athletes in LA 2028. And that is something that probably the 90% of the sports of El Salvador doesn't have, okay? Doesn't have. So that's the difference. So they need to build over that advantage. And the other question is, what the others have that I don't? Probably I don't have television, probably I don't have big stars, probably, okay. So first, before starting thinking in going out and talking with some sponsors, we need to answer those questions, okay? And we need to create a simple SWOT analysis. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Oh, what are my opportunities? What's the difference with the competition? Because at the end, for sponsorships, let's imagine that the brands, any brands, they have one budget, one bag with money. The decision of where are they going to put the money is the professionalism, the how, let me explain. The decision is what's the property that is able to ensure a better outcome. Okay, we are competing for that money. archery is competing for that money with football, with basketball, with baseball, with volleyball, because all the sports wants sponsorships. So we need to create something that catch the attention of the company that's gonna make the decision for the sponsorship, okay? So first, we need to be very clear of who I am. I'm the National Federation of Mexico. Okay, what are my advantages over the other sports? What are my disadvantages against the other sports? Okay, so that's the first question, and it's very important. Without this, you are losing the time. Okay. Okay. The second question is setting the price. Okay, how much should I charge? If you remember at the beginning of the presentation, I was talking about the services or products. For the product and the service, to set the price is quite simple. If you have a coffee, okay, well, you have the price of the coffee, the price of the water, you have the price of the glass, you have the salary of the people. Okay, you put everything, that is the direct cost, you put the taxes, you put the indirect cost, and then you set the price. At least the price, the minimum price, which you need to sell. Okay, but for something like archery, that is a project, that is a dream, that is a not tangible product, we need to go deeper before to set a price. Okay, first, what do I need? And what does it cost? That's the first question. Okay, all the federations, we need money. Okay, but for what? And I want to explain why this is very important. Is on the market analysis, what is my position? Okay, I'm a top sport on my country. I'm at the process of starting the activities on my country. It depends. With this marketing analysis, for example, for Mexico, probably archery is more expensive than other sports. Right now, for El Salvador, I assume that is archery more expensive than basketball or than handball or any other sports, because they don't have the chance to go to the Olympics, okay? So exclusivity, so more opportunities, it's a higher price. But probably if I am right now in another country and archery, it's a beginner sport, I need to be very clear that I cannot put a high price because I'm starting, okay? Then, what benefits can I offer, okay? If I get television, probably at my events, I can set a higher price. If I don't have television, probably a lower price. Then, very important, identify needs. Okay, value in kind and cash are two big needs. Let's put an example. Let's think that one of the federations, it's starting sport on their country, okay? So let's set the first step. Okay, I'm archery. I don't have a long story on archery on my country. How can I start? Okay, first, you need to explain what is archery. Okay, you need to use archery information on the world to explain to your client what's the sport, how important it is, what are the competitions that we attend, and what are the future, what do you want, okay? And you have to have very clear for what do you need the money. Probably you need targets, probably you need stands, probably you need bows, probably you need arrows, or probably you need to pay a trip air tickets, no? But at the end, it's more easier to get value in kind than cash. If you have clear your needs, everything that you are getting on sponsorships, we are going directly to decrease the cost of your project, okay? If you don't have clear your needs, probably you will start receiving value in kind that you don't need. Probably someone is gonna tell you, okay, I can give you jackets, and you don't need jackets because it's not part of your needs, okay? So it's quite important to identify the needs before setting the price, okay? Once that we understood, okay, who I am, what's my position on the market, okay, what are my needs, okay, what can I offer? Now we start creating the product, okay? The product, it's similar to any other product. It's similar to a bottle of water, it's similar to a coffee, it's similar to a computer. The product first have an image, a visual identity, okay? Remember, we are selling. So the first thing is, how do I want that the client look at me? I want to be blue, I want to be red, I want to be sexy, okay? Because we are selling, okay? What colors do I need? What forms? What is my identity? So we need first, before selling, develop a identity manual, okay? The identity manual is the use of my logo, the use of my colors, the use of my images of the athletes. I'm gonna put an example. Can you see my screen, this one, World Archery Mexico? Yes? Someone, sorry?
No, we've seen the identity manual. We don't see no graphics or anything.
Identity, okay, but you can see this manual with the
Yes, that's visible.
with the logo. Okay, that's perfect. Well, identity manual is the rules of the colors and the logos. And that is something that all the federations, we need to do. That's the first step, okay? For example, which colors, no? Black, we need for Mexico, for example, pink, we want yellow, we want green, we want red, okay. Which are the rules for the logo, okay? What are the kind of applications that we can use and we cannot use, okay? And then what are the graphic assets that we are using? And this is inspired on some Mexican handcraft, okay? And this is how we want to apply that ideas on with the colors of the brand identity, okay? And then how is gonna look my presentation card? How's gonna look my official letters? How's gonna look my credentials, okay? Before going out to selling, we need to do this. It's quite important. Probably it's very basic, and probably all of you already have this, but this is the first step, okay? Once that we have this, I'm gonna come back to development. Then, again, we need to identify the benefits that we can offer, okay? We need to have a list with a very clear benefit that we can offer to the client. Probably we can offer the logo on my events. We can offer the logo on my uniform during the competitions. I'm gonna put a list of that. Then, what events do I have during the years? Because it's part of my offer. I have my nationals, we all have nationals. I have a new talents event. I have an event for the media, whatever. So it's part of what we are offering. Then the promotion of the athletes. All the brands, they want to be linked with the success. All the brands, they want to be linked with the storytelling of the content, the storytelling of how the sport is growing, how the sport is being success, okay? And then we need to develop the prestige, develop a strategy to elevate the brand prestige, okay? Let me explain why. Once that we have all this information, that we have the identity manual, we create the sales tools. To going out and looking for a sponsor is gonna require a presentation, a sales presentation, okay? We can use a presentation, we can use a video, we can use a resume, but if you are asking for a meeting with a marketing director of any company to say, okay, I want to present you my project, you already have identified your needs, you have your advantage, you have the list of benefits, and you have your identity manual, okay? Now, you are going to present first who I am. Well, I'm the Mexican Federation, and this is a new era, and this is the project of archery for the next 4, 6, or 8 years, whatever. Second, why you should believe in me? Why you should put your money in archery? Well, first, because the Mexican athletes are competing on the top level. Because the archers from El Salvador, another example, they have the chance to go to the Olympics and make history for the country. Because we have a structure, because we have a plan, okay? On the presentation, first, you need to explain who you are, okay? Then, why you should believe in me. Third, how will you benefit from partnering with me? Okay, I need to explain, okay, I'm the Mexican Federation. You should put your money here because I have big athletes. And I'm going to explain you in the third one, what will be the benefits of partnering with me, okay? Because I have a plan and you are going to explain the plan on that presentation. And then you put additional information, okay? You will be related with Alejandra Valencia, you will be related with Ana Pau Vasquez, or you will be related with any athlete, okay? You are explaining your idea there. And then you can put everything on an executive summary, okay? This tool is essential, it's essential. You need a presentation, but in order to go and to create that presentation, first, you need to understand what are the opportunities, what are the benefits, what do you need, and you need to create the manual identity. After that, you can create the presentation. After the presentation, you have a clear idea of what you can offer. This London 2012, it's a menu for marketing opportunities. And it's very clear and it's very simple, and I will share with you. Look, first, the rights. The rights means all the benefits, direct benefits that the sponsors have by contract with the LOC. Okay, they have the right to use the logos of London. They have the rights to use a Team GV. They have the right to use the para Team GV. They have the right to use the mascots, okay? Then, all these rights are inside of the initial agreement. Let's assume that they pay $1 million, okay? All the rights are included on $1 million. Then, the opportunities. The opportunities is something that is additional to that $1 million. Okay, so the sponsor, they have the opportunity to be associated with the London 2012 cultural program. They have the opportunity to be associated with the educational program. Okay, and then the sponsors, they have the support. Okay, once that we are getting sponsors, let me put an example on archery. My sponsor is Electrolit. Okay, Electrolit, it's a beverage of Mexico. They have the right of put the logo of Electrolit on the uniform of the Mexican team. They have the opportunity to brand all my new schools with an additional cost. It's not included on the price, the branding, but it's included the opportunity to do something additional. Okay, and then they have the support from my team, because someone from my team is given a follow-up of all the activities that we are doing with Electrolit. So Electrolit, they have the opportunity to create a commercial with my athletes. Okay, okay, that is something additional. But this menu, it's a great tool to understand what you can offer from one price, what do you need to be supporting for the sponsors, and to create new opportunities. I know that this is Olympics, but it works on the same way for any project. Okay? Okay, once that you have your sales tools, okay, now we have the presentation. Let's come back to the example of the Salvador. Okay, now I have my presentation. I have my analysis of the market. I know that I'm one sport that probably is going to the Olympics, so that's my advantage. My disadvantage is I don't have television, okay? But my other advantage is that I have, on the case of Salvador, a silver medal on the World Championship, okay? Second, Salvador made the decision to create a brand identity with blue, because everything is blue. That's perfect, brand identity. Third, they create the sales tools. That's perfect. Now, what's the next step? Prospecting, okay? Who's gonna be my client? Okay, I have the tool, I have the presentation, that's perfect. And now, okay, you have to prospect. What's the prospecting process? You have to create a database, and it's not complicated. A database is just an Excel with the name of the company, name of the person, and the email and the telephone. Okay, that's it. That database, you have different sources of data. First, your community. Okay, probably the parents. The parents are the persons that are more interested in supporting archery. So you have to talk with the parents first. And you will find that some parents, they are CEOs of some companies, they are marketing directors, they are financial directors, or they are friends of other CEOs or others companies directors. Why you have to start there? Because they understand archery. So that's the first step. Second step, easy. You're going out and you look and say, okay, mobile companies, banking, beverage, that's the easy part. Once that you create the database, you start prospecting and sending emails. Hi, my name is Gabriel. I'm the president of the Mexican Archery Federation, and I'm interested in presenting you my plan for developing archery for the next 8 or 3 years on the Mexican market. I'm sure that these opportunities can find a direct benefit for your company. Okay, you are catching the attention first. They are going to reply you. Okay, send me some information. For that is the tools. Okay, You send some information, not all the information, some information, because the important thing is to secure one meeting face to face, because the art of selling is face to face. Okay, because we are selling a product. We are not selling a product. Sorry, we are selling a project. We are selling a dream. We need passion. We need emotion. We need to share that dream that we have. We need that the person in front fall in love on my project and say, okay, this guy is talking about the dream. The dream is going to the Olympics. Oh my God. Even if the chances of going to the Olympics are zero, you are selling a dream. You are not selling a result. Okay? It's quite important. The art of selling, the art of getting the sponsorships, you are not selling the result. You are not selling the medals on the Olympics. You are selling the opportunity of going to the Olympics. And that opportunity is a dream. And that dream creates some stories. And that stories create some content. And the content is what everybody consumes every day with the social media. Okay? So that's the important thing. When you are selling, first you create all the tools. But now it's time to go face to face and say, hey, look, this is the best way to invest your money on sports on my country. Okay? Okay, then how do I make my product more attractive, more sexy? You need to invest. Okay, and I'm going to explain why. If you are starting from zero, from nothing, at the beginning, probably you need to invest. The sponsorship and the sports marketing world works like if you are with good brands, more good brands will come. If you are out of brands, if you are out of any support, it will be harder to get more support. Okay? So first, associate with the right brands. And the question is, how do I want that the people look at my archers? What do I want to project? And I'm going to put an example here. This is my team before the Olympics, no? In Adidas, using a hat from New Era, because when I become president, I say, look, I want my archers look like a professional athletes. I want my archers look like someone aspirational, no? To a role model to follow. And we put money to buy the uniforms. And we put money on creating a shooting session, okay? And then we create those products and we put money on that. And we create a merchandising campaign supporting athletes, but we make the decision of putting money on this. We invest. After a few months, we have the money back and we get some revenue, okay? But at the beginning, we have to invest on that. So the first thing is, good brands will bring more good brands. Okay, we make the decision of Adidas and it worked. After Adidas and after this shooting, we close the agreement with Electrolyte. And Electrolyte put some money. The example is, zero money from Adidas, we buy the uniforms, money from Electrolyte. Why? Because Electrolyte look archery in a different way. Electrolyte says, oh, these guys are professionals. This guy looks like a professional athlete. Okay, I'm gonna put my money here. With that money, I cover the expenses of the uniforms that I buy from Adidas, that was not a sponsor, because I'm creating the image that I want to project, okay? Then, television and social media is fundamental. You need to have some media tours. You need to create that stories and heroes. You need to find something that is communicating all the time about your sport. For example, for us, Mariana Bernal, it's a great athlete and it's a great asset for marketing. Before she was shooting the finals in the World Cup final, she wrote on her hand some words: no? Focus, be present. That words that she wrote on her hand, we use it to start communicating a story. At the end, we connect with more people, probably that was not interested on archery, but is interested on content, on successful stories. Okay, so it's important to be clear that we are competing with another brands, with another sports. So we need to create a product more sexy. What are the basic principles? First, to generate, you need to invest. That's a principle. If you want to create a merchandising campaign, you need to invest a little bit on products. After you start selling the products or your federation, you will get the money back and you will get the revenue. Okay. If you want to create a affiliation campaign in order to have more credentials every year, you need to create a product related with this project. I mean, for Mexico, this year we have 1,500 archers that pay the affiliation to the federation. Okay, what we are doing, we are adding value to this affiliation to the federation. We are putting seguro sorry. We are putting more value on the credential that we are giving. Okay, we are putting some discounts from the sponsors with the credential. We are giving more services with the credential because we want that the people pay the affiliation every year. Okay, so for that we need to invest. We need to invest in creating a better credentials. We need to invest in having probably agreements with different companies to have discounts for the credential. Okay, so going back, basic principles. To generate, you need to invest. Second, if they don't see you, they won't buy nothing from you. If you are not a little bit on the social media, a little bit on the media, if you are not out, they don't have any interest in putting your money with you. Third one, partnering with strong brands, attract strong brands. Okay? Fourth one, not everything is cash. There's a whole world in value in kind. And it's easier, probably, and it helps on the same way. The fifth one, prospecting begins with the same community, with the archery community. So the first step of the prospection is going out with your community and talking about the plan. Okay, the next one, transparency. It's quite important to explain for what you are using the money, for what you want the money, okay? Because the brands, they don't want to give the money to someone that probably is gonna take the money and run away. Okay, they need transparency. And the next one, it's service. The sponsors, they are allies. They will be with you if you treat them well, okay? So you need to create a relation with the sponsor. You need to send a birthday gift. You need to send a Christmas card. You need to send a team uniform for the company director. You need to create that relationship, because at the end, they are putting the money because they believe in your project, okay? Well, so far, that's the presentation. Now I would like to use probably the remaining time for questions, because I'm sure you have a few questions. And this presentation was probably on the basic level. Probably many of you already know how to do it, but for me, because I don't have a background of the different levels of the federation, it was very important to start from the beginning, okay? Sorry for my English. Sometimes I hope you understand me. And now I will put on mute. And if you have some questions, I will be more than happy to.
Hi, Gabriel. This is Sanjay from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank you for that presentation. I think it was very well put together in the sense it gave me a few very important ideas that we can use. We're a very small federation. We only have about 25 archers, and in a bid for me in 2026 to try and get more of the corporate community to be on board with our federation, some of your information will be definitely put into consideration, and I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you. We are open, and I will put my email and my phone. I'm more than happy to help all the federations in creating their own path to start doing marketing and to start doing sponsorships. We need to understand that sports is an industry. It's a business, okay? It's for the sports market. I know that there's another part for the development. There's another part from the passion. There's another part from the growth of the sports. But sports marketing is a business, and we need to think in how we can be part of that business. Okay, what we can offer to that business. If you are a small federation with 25 athletes, okay, the first step, it's okay, let's set a plan. What do you want? Okay, I want to have 100 athletes in for 1 year. Okay, what's gonna be the first step? For example, first you have to identify what do you have. I have 25 athletes. Okay, that's my first asset. Second, I have archery, and archery is quite important on the world. So I can use probably some examples from the world, of some examples from World Archery Americas. Third, you need to set a goal. Okay, I need to be at least in 1 or 2 or 3 competitions. Okay, that's the first goal. And probably that first goal, I'm gonna put an example. I need to go to Puebla for the World Cup Stage 1, because that is gonna make me more visible to everybody, because I'm competing out of my country and I'm competing against the rest of the world. Okay, how much do I need to do that? And that's the first project. Okay, that's the first step. During that project, you start creating the storytelling. Okay, my federation, my team, my 25 warriors, they are getting ready to go out of my country to compete to the rest of the world. Oh, that's something, no? And you start creating that story that's going to help you to create the role model for more athletes. Once that you are putting 1 or 2 athletes in Puebla or in Antalya, or okay, more kids and more parents will say, okay, archery is an opportunity. Probably we should try, because it's an opportunity to go out and compete with the rest of the world. It's an opportunity. Okay, so that will be the steps, but you need to create a plan. Okay, so this is just an example, but thank you for attending. Phillips,
Thank you.
you're mute. Phillips, yeah.
Do you have any questions, any comments? This is the opportunity to ask questions about marketing. Maybe, of course, some of you do not organize big events. Some of you do not have world championship medalists, as Mexico does. But I'm sure there are questions that you would like to ask of Gabriel, who has experience in all of this marketing area that may help you in your own national federations promote the sport and then use marketing for the benefit of archery in your countries.
I'd like to mention one.
Yes, Phil.
Yes, I'd like to mention one thing. And that was an excellent presentation. First of all, thank you, Gabriel. And many of the techniques and the things that you talked about and how you approach people, although you're talking about event-oriented marketing, you can use that in the development process of growing your sports within your country. I get many comments and questions. I know Sergio does too. That people ask, how do I raise money to get my federation the equipment and the resources necessary? And many of the techniques, Gabriel, that you mentioned, and some of the approaches apply for the development of the growth of archery within their countries and getting the financial support, because that would be a big win if many of the countries and the smaller federations are able to raise money and support themselves to be able to travel to these international competitions. So that's my discussion and point I wanted to make. Thank you, Gabriel.
Thanks,
I would agree, and thank you very much, Gabriel, for that presentation. I think it was fantastic, and it actually helped us. Most of my team is here on the call as well, so it's helped us to recognize, where we have little gaps that we can fill in as well and concentrate on. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other comments? I think Gabriel has given us information that we had been waiting for a long time. We had in our plan for 2021, 2024, also the area of marketing as one of our focuses. And we weren't able to really do what we wanted to, but this is the first step, the first presentation regarding this topic. I'm sure we're going to have more. I'd like to announce, since we have here some national federation presidents or secretary generals, that we will have our General Assembly next year in Tlaxcala, Mexico. Most likely will be on the 22nd of June. We're going to have the whole day for that. And we plan to talk about marketing when we're there. So this is going to be the first time we're going to have our assembly for one whole day. So we're going to have time to cover important areas that our national federations will be interested in. And one of them for sure is marketing. So we will probably have a follow-up discussion in Mexico next year. But if you have any questions, if you have any concerns about marketing and how you can profit from marketing in your national federations, Gabriel is the person to talk to. So do not hesitate to contact him. If you don't have his contacts, just let me know, and we will arrange for some communication between you and Gabriel on these topics. Well, if you don't have any other questions, I'd like to thank Gabriel for the wonderful presentation. again. We're going to have one in Spanish in about 40 minutes with the same topic. So thank you all for attending, and we look forward to seeing you soon at another tournament and maybe another webinar as well. Thank you, Gabriel, and have a wonderful weekend.
All
Thank
right, Sergio.
you.
Bye
Thank
now.
you, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank-
Take care, everyone.
Take care. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Trina.
Thanks.
See you, Sanjay.